If you going to the movie and you think you going to see Get Out, when you go to see him, if you think you about to see Get Out, get out the movie theater. I don't know. I'd say I'm reasonable. Okay, that's completely unreasonable. I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate. Fitting, suitable, logical. All things I would definitely say describe me. Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable. Hey, welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I am Zainab Johnson. I'm actually taping this episode on the evening of Thursday, September 25th. Because I have a lot of traveling, and by the time you guys see this, I will be in an entirely different country. But I wanted to make sure that I got you guys an episode, and there was stuff that wasn't as timely that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So yeah, consistency is key. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here and you gonna be here, welcome back. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Although we beefing. Because let me just tell you, in last week's episode, I was like, okay, y'all, I'm telling you about this guy saying that New York didn't have nice people. So I want y'all to, but I think people are people everywhere. So I need y'all to tell me in the comments what you guys think is the nicest city in the world or the nicest place. Where have you encountered the most reasonable people? It was like 2 or 3 of y'all. I'm like, I literally put a call to action out. I said, you guys, let me know in the comments. I'm looking through the comments. I could not wait. I was so interested. Like, oh, maybe depending on what my reasons say, I'm gonna have some, places to add to like the vacation or the tour schedule, like vision board, right? 2, maybe 3 comments. 2, maybe 3 comments responding to the call of action. And it's like, yo, is we or is we ain't? Do we go together or not? I was like, y'all, I'm taping this episode before Jimmy Kimmel's show re-airs. So I need y'all to, because I know you're going to watch it. I know y'all watched it. It got 20 million views online and 6 million views live. More people than have ever watched his show before watched that returning night. I'm like, reasons, make sure y'all tell me what happened let's continue this, because I'm not talking let's continue it in the comments. Call to action. Did y'all do it? I don't think I saw one comment on like, yo, Z, I checked out Jimmy Kimmel and blah, and we would have been chatting. We'd have been in the chat. What SZA say? Chat. We'd have been chatting. I need some reciprocity reasons. This has to be reciprocal. I don't be asking y'all a lot of times, and I know. I want to be very reasonable. I know that when y'all listen to this, sometimes you're driving, sometimes you're getting ready, to go to work or school. Sometimes you're putting a baby down. Sometimes you're making food. You at work. You may not be able to type, although you're able to listen, right? There's a lot of times we could hear, but we can't use our hands. But that's not everybody. I know some of y'all be watching right from the toilet. So go ahead and put the stuff in the comments, please. While I have you, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I realized that I haven't been saying that. So, if you've been coming back and you haven't subscribed, we beefing. But I don't want to beef. It's so exhausting and unreasonable. I don't want to beef. I just want to have fun with y'all. I want to have fun and like really insightful and like goofy, foolish conversation, that kind of improves our day. That's what I want. But you can't just sit and listen. I mean, you can, but I'm just saying, I was looking in the chat, and the chat was Lit. Lit is so 2024, right? 2023. The chat was lit, but it wasn't C. Ugh. I saw him. Today. I saw the movie Him. If you don't know what the movie Him is, it is the movie produced by Jordan Peele's production company, Monkey Paw Productions. It's not written or directed by Jordan Peele. So sometimes if you go to the movies and it says from, a Jordan Peele movie or something like that, you might think it's Jordan Peele's, but it's like, no, you might think that you're getting like Get Out or Us or Dope, but it's like, no, he also has a production company that does look for movies that are in line with the type of content that he has put out. This one in particular was not written or directed by him, just produced. So basically just they put the money up, It's starring Marlon Wayans and Tariq Withers, who I never seen Tariq Withers before the trailer for this movie, but and basically you don't know. It's like, it's sort of like these movies where there's a twist or it's suspenseful. You don't really know the plot. Like when you see the trailer, you're like, okay, this is a football movie. This is a movie that takes place in the world of football. And there's something that's sinister that's going to happen, because that's just like, this is the branding of this film. This is the branding of the people that are behind this film. So that something sinister is going to happen, but you got to go to the movies to see what it actually is. Is it as sinister as you're imagining or not? I actually wanted to see it during its opening weekend, but I some other things came up and I wasn't able to. And sometimes I like to do that with an anticipated film, just because I don't want the critics and I don't want, just people on social media influencing my opinion of the film. This particular film, it's wild because this particular film has very low ratings. Like, when it came out, as soon as I opened up any sort of social media app, people was yelling at the app about how much they hated it in the way that I could not believe highest to lowest. In the way that I was like, wait, what? What's happening here? What are we doing? And I don't mean what's happening like I didn't understand the film. Baby, I overstand. And still, I was like, did the best we got? The reviews were so bad. The response has been so bad to the film. And I don't think you would have known that. You would have anticipated that, because if you've seen any sort of their, media tours, they both look so nice. Marlon and Tariq, they both look very nice. They're, just like Marlon is older, Tariq is younger, but still like, men with like good genes and just tall and good looking and glistening and glowing and seeming like they in good spirits, laughing a lot, having good chemistry, all of that type of stuff, right? Like on their press tour, right? But the reviews, when they came in, they were so bad. And I think some people like discount critics, especially if you're a person of color. You might discount a critic's critique because you like, there might be like, inherent racism. Like, it's just like, maybe you don't even know. It's kind of like Ice Cube said, it's Doughboy and Boys in the Hood. They either don't know, don't show, or don't give about what's going on in the hood. And so sometimes it's hard to appreciate somebody that's from the outside critiquing a story that feels very like, oh, if you don't know, you don't know. You get what I'm saying? So that's the critics. But I think when the people were like, no, we know, and we are not happy with this. We know, and we are pissed off. So much so that Marlon actually had to put a statement out. He didn't have to, but he chose to put a statement. First of all, let me just celebrate Marlon. I've been seeing him on his press tour. As much as I know Marlon personally, and as much as I'm not like a person that has ever desired Marlon to be my love interest, I have the highest level of like respect and adoration and admiration for the Wayans family and their legacy. They're like an iconic family to me. And I feel like in another life, I'm like the honorary sister. You get what I'm saying? If ever I have a say in it, I'm going to cast Kim Wayans in something. And something I feel like she is one of the most underrated women in comedy. But also on this press tour, Marlon was I think Marlon is like 52 or 53. And he was looking so like, he looked great, to the point that when I saw like a promo video or something like that, like a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a friend of mine a male friend of mine who's very close to Marlon, and I was like, "Have you seen Marlon? He looks so nice." I was like, "Okay, Marlon." I mean, you know what I'm saying? If in another life, I would have been like, "Louis, tell me what Marlon got going on over there?" And my friend was like, "I mean, he looked like Marlon because he's a guy, and he's also one of them guys that." It don't matter what's happening. He ain't going to really be able to call another guy handsome. You know, he one of them type of guys. Love him, but he just going to be like, they look like how they look. I mean, I get, okay. The most they going to do in terms of a guy looking nice is you got to say it and they'll like halfway nod their head. He one of those types of guys, right? Anyway, so I just want to go ahead and take a second and celebrate Marlon. But Marlon came out and had to make a statement. He made this statement. So I was like, listen, I'm going to go see it. I don't care what people saying. I want to decide for myself. Actually, in the comments, when I was talking about highest to lowest, I see one of the reasons left a comment like, Zainab, I'm seeing people saying highest to lowest is really good. You know, I don't understand like why it's such a drastic response to it. Like people either love it or hate it. And I'm like, go see it for yourself. Go see it for yourself and come to your own conclusion. That's the best thing to do. Anywho, and so that's what I did. I went to the movies and I completely got the movie. When people, the reviews that came in, like, I just was like, maybe it's, here's the thing. Here's what I know. The script must have been 7 pages because it ain't that much dialogue. It's images, imagery. It almost looked like if the Illuminati had a big budget for a music video. That's what the movie is like. And I felt bad. I'm like, you know what? Muslims always got to combat like the terrorist narrative in filmmaking. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jewish people, I guess what they always got to, you know, it's like, did they kill Jesus? Was he a Jew in the Holocaust? That's what they got, right? But because the mass, especially in the United States, because the mass portrayal of people, it's like, even if it's not explicitly said, it's still like, yeah, there's everybody Christian. Even if you say it's a separation between church and state, no, we gonna give and get a lot of money to Israel, but also to we a Christian state. We Christians over here, right? And I realized the biggest thing the Christians got, is the devil. Every single film, when they overtly like Christian, all they got to battle is Satan. And in this film, spoiler alert, it was imagery. I'm telling you, it seemed like I was at a Illuminati like art show. That's it. I'm going to be very honest with you. I went down to my phone multiple times in the movie, in the middle, not at the very beginning and not at the very end, but in the middle for the bulk of the film, I went down into my phone. I listened, but I didn't see because it's just too gory. I'm not about to watch a human being be harmed like that. Like, that don't do nothing for me, and it's not scary. It's just sort of like barbaric, and, you know, and for football, that we doing this for football. We doing this for what? Cause you trying to be the GOAT forever. It's like, we're human beings. Everybody know you go from being a baby to an adult to being a baby again. And you just an old ass baby. I mean, did we not see Benjamin Button? I know it's the reverse cycle of aging, but so anybody that's trying to stay at the top of their game for their entire life, it's like you fighting against science. You fighting against God. You fighting against biology. Why would you do that? And so just like the overt like disregard for like life, and then a lot of like these sort of you know, like a lot of it's like you like football so much you possessed. That ain't really for me. But it's very hard for me to say that the film was bad because the acting was good, right? The acting, everybody was believable. It's not, as much as Marlon says that this is his, and this feels a little bit weird for me because like I said, I know Marlon, so this is all like, respectfully and with love. But as much as Marlon says like this is his best work ever, I disagree. And it's not that he didn't do well in this film. He did. He was believable in every single moment. But I watched that Michael Jordan movie. I forget the name of it, but it had Matt Damon, Viola Davis, and one scene had Marlon Wayans. He had one scene and one monologue. Let me just tell you. One scene and one monologue, and he stole the film for me. Besides Viola Davis, being Michael Jordan's mother, Marlon had one scene at a bar. He told the story. I said, I know we got to go back to Jordan in this sneaker, but if we could just go back to the bar and go back to what is Marlon's character? What is he doing? Do he got any more story in Jordan's life? Because we can go back to there because that was great. So that's so as much as he's saying this was his best work, I would disagree, but it was good work. It was good work. Marlon's like a great actor. Marlon's like a great dramatic actor, in my opinion. And I got the message. Like at the end, I was kind of like, I felt resolved. Do you get what I'm saying? I felt like, okay, cool. Spoiler alert. He's not going to be corrupt. He made the choice, But at the end, I was watching like, I wonder how Colin Kaepernick feels about this one. I don't know. You got to see it to know what I'm talking about. And as much as I'm saying spoiler alert, I'm trying not to spoil it too much. But you really got to see it to understand why I'm saying that, right? But I ain't going to ask y'all if y'all see it because y'all going to leave me dry in the comments. Anywho, I do understand why people are like, huh? What? You had me go to the movies for this? But I personally didn't feel that way, although it's one of those movies like, yeah, I got it. And I didn't necessarily enjoy it. And although I didn't enjoy it, I don't believe it was a bad movie. I don't even think it was a movie. I think it was a concept that they took 90 minutes to I think it was a concept that they took 90 high concept artistic minutes to portray, but I also wouldn't recommend it outside of like, if you want to see a good looking 52-year-old man looking good at 52 and you want to see a good looking boy, I don't know how old Tariq Withers is. I think he in his 20s. You want to see them in some football tights and they chest and they abs. If you want to see that, then watch the movie. But it's like, you ain't got to go to the movie. Who going to the movie for that? Right? Or you want to see some naked girls? Because, there's scenes where there's corruption. There's corruption in all form, right? It's like, yeah, so here's this person is putting a body. Marlon said some lines where he was like, yeah, light skin, N-word. I think it's a think piece. But if you go into the movie, and you think you're going to see Get Out when you go to see him, if you think you're about to see Get Out, get out the movie theater. Get out the movie theater quick, fast. Turn your ticket in and go pull up Get Out wherever it's streaming, because it ain't about to be that. Hey, you know what time it is in the show. It is time for me to let you guys know where you can see me live. So my next shows are October 12th in Washington, D.C. Now, I just want to say something about this show in Washington, D.C., because everybody is like, wait, are you going to be in D.C. or not? I am going to be in D.C. I'm going to be in D.C. I'm performing on the show Because They're Funny, which is part of the ABFF Film Festival. They do a Because They're Funny comedy festival this time of the year, right? Now, the reason why I don't promote it with my other dates is because if you come to that show expecting to see a long set from me or a full set from me, you won't. You'll see 15, 20 minutes max. So yeah, so please come to that show. I just don't want you guys to be like, oh, I came to DC thing. And the price point is, like I came to DC and I thought I was going to see like your full set. You're not. I'm a part of a co-headlining thing where all the other dates that I'm promoting, you see me do at least an hour. Okay, so that's just the difference between this particular DC date. After DC, I will be in West Nyack, New York at Levity Live, West Nyack, New York, October 17th through the 19th. Then October 31st through November 1st. So Halloween weekend, October 31st through November 1st. I will be in Cleveland, Ohio at the Funny Bone in Cleveland, Ohio. November 13th through the 15th, I will be in Houston, Texas at the Punchline in Houston, Texas. November 21st and 22nd, I will be at the House of Comedy in Detroit, Michigan. November 21st and 22nd, I will be in Detroit, Michigan at the House of Comedy. Then to wrap up my year, my shows this year, December 5th through the 7th, I will be in Addison, Texas at the Improv in Addison, Texas. That's the Dallas area. So anybody just like, when you come to Dallas, y'all know they done had me in the Dallas area a bunch of times this year because Texas is so big, but Dallas got a lot of like Dallas metro area, right? And so I'm coming back. I'm coming to Addison. I'm coming to the Improv December 5th through the 7th. So please come see me. And then December 12th and 13th, I will be in Dayton, Kentucky. That is the Cincinnati area. So don't be like, oh, you going to Dayton and you ain't coming to Cincinnati? It's like, that's right across the street. You could actually probably look from your house and be like, oh, who that over there in Dayton? Oh, that's Zainab? Yeah, let's put on our sneakers and walk over there. That's December 13th. Oh, that's December 12th and 13th, Dayton, Kentucky, which is the Cincinnati area. If you scroll down, the link to those tickets are in the details of my podcast. I hope I see you guys there. Tony Earl Jr. Have you guys heard the story of Tony Earl Jr.? He is a Texas man who was robbed at gunpoint. Him and I believe his wife or girlfriend, they were in a car at the drive-through ATM in Texas, and they were robbed. And after the robbery happened, the robber, and this is all on video, the robber actually took off running. And when the robber took off running, Tony Earl Jr. got out his car with his gun and shot at the robber. And he shot at the robber 10 or 11 times. As the robber, he sort of ran after him a little bit and shot at the robber. He did not hit the robber. The robber has never been found. The gun that is the gun that the robber had to use to rob them, that gun has never been found. But unfortunately, when Tony Earl Jr. was shooting at the robber, he actually hit a SUV that was driving by. It was filled with a family, and the 9-year-old daughter was shot and killed. This is tragic. This is tragic. I've been following this case. It's been going on. It's been really quick. It ain't like the Diddy trial. You know, this was quick. It's just a matter of days. It's been going on for a little minute because it's like at first he wasn't charged, and then he was charged with something else, and then he wasn't charged with that, but then the grand jury had another charge, and then eventually he went to trial for manslaughter. And I watched this video a couple of times, and it's unfortunate. And I'm not here to be like, you know, he deserves this. But I did watch the video a bit perplexed. Tony Earl went to trial for, I believe the young girl's name was Arlene Alvarez. He went to trial for manslaughter of 9-year-old Arlene Alvarez. And he was found guilty. He was found guilty today. And he was found guilty yesterday, I believe, either yesterday or the day before. He was found guilty recently, but he was sentenced today, and they gave him the full time, which is 20 years. Not that it matters, but just so you guys have the details, you can decide if it matters. For me, I don't know if it matters. I'm so torn. I'm talking about this, but it really is one of those cases where if I was a law student, I'd want to like debate this in class, or if I was a law professor, this is one of those cases to me. Tony Earl Jr. is African-American man, and Arlene Alvarez is a young girl of Spanish descent. And when I watched the video, I was just like, But how you just shooting out in the open? It didn't even look like I hate to say it because I ain't trying to kick a man while he's down, but it wasn't even like, right? It wasn't even like that. It was like the shots that you make fun of, like in, what was How to Be a Menace to Society While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. It was like, pat, 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 pat. Like, are you even looking where you're shooting? But also, it is my opinion. It really is my opinion. This is just unfortunate. The little girl is dead. Such a young life taken. This man who prior, like, they bring, if something happened like this and they got dirt on you, they're going to bring it. They're going to be like, oh, he was a problem anyway. Nothing really presented itself. This is just an unfortunate situation. And Tony Earl Jr. really seems so remorseful. It's like, if you could just go back in time and change that split-second decision. But that's the thing about life. You can't. But you could just see it on his, like, I actually thought there was going to be a twist in the case. I thought it was going to be a twist, like he shot at the car that the family was in because the robber actually got in the car and right. I thought it was going to be, it was never a twist. I thought it was going to be a Jordan Peele production. Never. It was just like so far straightforward, just unfortunate, just like bad, terrible luck for both sides. But also, here's the thing. I need for people, because they say the safest state is Texas because everybody got a gun. That's what they say. Safest place, and don't nobody act out because everybody got a gun. So that's that. So shit don't be happening in Texas. Material things do not matter. Material things can't bring a life back. Material things don't help you when there's a life lost. Material things that you ever love something, you ever go to a store and you love something and then you like, you know what, if I can't get it off my mind, I'm gonna come back and get it. And then you walk out that store and a week, a month, so a whole bunch of time passing, your friend be like, did you ever get that jacket? And you like, what jacket? And they like, that jacket that you love. Remember we was in that store and you was like, you gotta have that jacket. You hated to walk away from it. And you like, I don't even remember what jacket you talking about. We can't do it's like if I get, inshallah, this is not my fate. This never happens. But if I get robbed, they take whatever they can take from me, all that I have. And I'm able to, me and my partner, we are able to continue on with our lives. I ain't about to run after you. Why would I go after trouble? Why would I go after trouble? No. So even for me, I'm like, wow, that's an interesting decision. Like if he was my brother and was telling me the story, let's say there was no unfortunate death that occurred from this situation, but it was my brother and he came, or my husband or boyfriend, and came home and was like, yeah, this has happened. They robbed me, and they, and then as soon as they took off, I took off after them and started shooting them. I would be like, wait, so they robbed you, you gave them your stuff, and then they went and ran away, and you were still in the car, and you decided to get out the car and run after them, and shoot at them. Why don't you just drive directly to the police station? Why don't you just drive home? Why would you go after, so that part for me is like, but also it really made me think like, damn, we are getting daily signals from our angels, our spirit guides, our universe. We are getting daily situations to daily reminders to be like, gun control. And Everybody talking about white, black, left, right, rich, poor, gun control. Because you realize ain't nobody exempt. Ain't nobody exempt. If you have a child in school, you're not exempt. A loved one running a marathon, you're not exempt. A fellow congregant that's just at a church praying, you're not exempt. A religious leader at a mosque or a synagogue, you're not exempt. A man that, you know what I'm saying? If you Charlie Kirk, you're not exempt. If you're a politician in Minnesota, you're not exempt. If you a CEO of a healthcare company in New York City, you're not exempt. If you a cop, if you a gang member, if you're not exempt. So how is this not the priority? How is this not the priority? All right. They haven't found the person who robbed Tony Earl Jr. and his girlfriend girlfriend or wife. And I'm not sure if they do find the robber, what that changes, like if the robber can actually be charged, because all of this is a result of the robbery. I don't know. This one just so unfortunate. There's no Ask Z this week, and I don't have time to do it anyway because I got to head to the airport. But thank you so much for watching this week's episode of I'm Reasonable. I look forward to chatting with y'all in the chat. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And until I talk to you guys next time, please stay reasonable. I might go live while I'm traveling. I'm not promising, but be on the lookout. Okay. Bye.